So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all on behalf of International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. Today we are on the 298th continuous uninterrupted Zoom session of International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. Before we proceed, I would like to have 1 minute silent prayer for the success of the vision and missions of Ifph, and also for the successful conveyance of the message expected of today's Zoom session. So let us have 1 minute silent prayer. Thank you. For the information of those who joined our Zoom session for the first time, International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy is an organization formed by a group of homeopathy lovers, homeopathy doctors, and students. At the time of a pandemic that affects the entire humanity, unable to manage by the leading healthcare system in the world. And homeopathy, incidentally, is emerging as the best prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation for this viral infection. But the world at large remains unaware about this possibility. So it is the responsibility of every homeopathic doctor and those who understood the effectiveness and potentials of homeopathy to bring this information around the world for the awareness of the political leaders, healthcare authorities, and the citizens of every country in the world, so that the beneficial use of this medicine will be made available and the sufferings of humanity will be minimized. So with this intention of creating awareness, Ifph started daily Zoom sessions to create awareness for the purpose of education. And we are on a continuous uninterrupted mission, and today we are on the 298th session. Today we have very important panelists with us to talk on the subject, what needs to be done to bring or make homeopathy #1 system in the world, or to bring homeopathy to every nook and corner of the world, so that every citizen in every country will be able to enjoy the beneficial use of homeopathic system of medicine. And today I am proud to present one of my very respected teacher, Dr. S. Sanderskumar, who used to be the head of Department of Practice of Medicine during my undergraduate studies. And now currently, Dr. Sanderskumar is the guest faculty after his retirement at Sharada Krishna Homeopathic Medical College, Kulasegaram, Tamil Nadu, India, one of the leading homeopathic institutions in India. And with 38 years of clinical experience, Dr. Sanderskumar published articles in many medical journals, delivered speeches on various medical topics on All India Radio, and former head of the Department of Practice of Medicine, Government Homeopathic Medical College, Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala, India, from where I graduated, and also former Dean, Faculty of Homeopathy, University of Kerala, India. And I am proud to present my teacher, our beloved Savir Sir, to our forum. Dr. Savir Sir, the floor is yours. The next 10 minutes are yours. Please present your ideas, sir. You can unmute yourself and open your video also, sir. Savir sir, you can start.
Yes, I can.
You can open your video, sir.
Yes. Very good evening to all. Respected doctors all over the world, and my students also. So really, I am grateful to the organizers of the International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy, especially to Dr. Shaji Bagis of Philippines and Dr. Ismail Seth, our senior professor at Calicut, India, who took initiative about 1 year before for constructing this international platform and for organizing webinars consecutively. The learning process can be activated by this exchange of ideas internationally. Fortunately, homeopathy uses international nomenclature so that global communication and research on a particular disease is possible. Even in India, we also fall in the Hanuman chain, so to say, because our senior-most doctors, Dr. K.S. Pragasham and Dr. K.J. Isaac, were students of Dr. N.M. Chowdhury of Calcutta, who was in turn direct students of stalwarts like Dr. Farrington and Dr. Kent. So we are happy and proud to fall in that natural chain of homeopathy, and it's a great asset, I think. So the topic we have to focus on today is so what can be done towards perfecting clinical practice of homeopathy. We cannot say that one system is superior or to the other, because all these medical systems are for human beings, for the well-being of human beings, and one should be complementary to the other. So where that actual word, and WHO also includes homeopathy in the complementary and alternative medicine, CAM, so to say. So one should be complementary to the other. See, because we have seen us in the present pandemic, see, where the dominating system cannot do much in the prevention and treatment, so much can be contributed by homeopathy. And of course, see, we should, as homeopaths, follow certain lineage in the management. So clinical practice today is highly competitive. One has to compete with the physicians from all systems and specialties. Many patients come with the results of laboratory investigation. How a doctor interprets them may also leave an indelible impression in their minds. Updating information in the medical field is most important for a practitioner. The doctor's consulting room should be equipped with all essential examining tools. A methodological entry in all the headings and case record should be completed in a matter of 15 to 20 minutes in all new cases, so that every new patient shall be satisfactorily disposed of within a period of 30 minutes. This is essential in today's speedy world, where time is equally important to all, the doctor as well as the patient. Homeopathic medicines have to be taken at least half an hour apart from food or drinks. All external applications, including medicated oils, have to be avoided during treatment period. And that all other medication that the patient is currently on should be withdrawn or tapered only on medical advice. As many patients and some doctors exhibit the dangerous trend to stop abruptly all other medications once they switch over to homeopathic treatment. So that should not happen. So only because all medicines are for human being, as I told earlier. So when one medicine is introduced, so that is not contradictory to the other one, but to get similar medicines can be gradually tapered based on investigations and observations. So much was emphasized on the clinical setup of the doctor, because this is important. This is the important target in homeopathic practice, a double diagnosis. That is the diagnosis of the disease and the diagnosis of the patient. That is individualization. Disease diagnosis can be achieved from a good history recording, careful physical examination, and imbibing the laboratory data. See, thus the disease diagnosis can be framed and entered in the top right-hand corner in case sheets for easy remembrance on next visit, and also for communication to the medical fraternity if the case sheets are sent with the patients. So sending case sheets to the patients have another important function also. See, sometimes it may be misused because that happens in the other systems also. But in homeopathic case record, no, if you give it to directly to patients, they can use it. See, in next visit, and they can also, if necessary, go to a government doctor or to a government hospital. This is possible because without knowing a medicine, another medicine can be contradictory and may injure the health of the patient also. So it is a good practice to give it, hand it over to patients so that they can use it in next visit, and they can, if necessary, they can consult another physician also. It will be helpful for the second practitioner also. The diagnosis of the disease is all important in advising the general management plan. That is the importance in diagnosing a disease. A general management can be instituted accordingly, especially regarding diet and regimen and supportive measures. Replacement therapy or substitution therapy is only advising the intake of a deficient material, for example, vitamins, minerals, water, etc., in correct doses. And this is not against homeopathic principles. So substitution or replacement should be done wherever possible. Successful treatment will be only complete with the general management and therapeutic management, which is based on individualization of the patient. A brief noting of the generals, including mental generals, from the regional questioning from head to foot will help in differentiating the remedies. Repertorization may be necessary in cases with multiple complaints. Miasmatic considerations may also be necessary in the final selection of the similima. The drug picture naturally comes with the physician's acquaintance with the writings of masters like Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, Dr. Kent, Dr. Farrington, Dr. Borick, Dr. Lippi, Dr. Allen, Dr. Nash, and Dr. N.M. Chowdhury. So in fact, many rare remedies are covered by Borick's Materia Medica and also Dr. N.M. Chowdhury's book. So that Borick's Materia Medica is said to be the Bible of homeopathy, because you can see many clinical tips also. Clinically verified drugs also are given there. After the great achievement with the disease diagnosis and the selection of the remedy, almost equal importance lies in how the remedies are dispensed and repeated in follow-up visits. Genuine remedies should be procured and neatly preserved, following the cardinal principles: single medicine, similar medicine, and minimum dose has to be administered. Patients are to be reminded that the first thing to be taken in the morning should be pure water. Homeopathic medicines can follow immediately after. The medicines can be dispensed in milk sugar packets or cane sugar globules, preferably in neutral glass vials, especially in chronic cases where medicines have to be stored for a longer period. Normally, repetition of doses should be made only after the exhaustion of the effect of the first dose. Homeopathic medicines have to be repeated at 1 to 4 week intervals if the patient is already on other drugs, which can be tapered only under observation. That is what happens today. Okay, patients may be on many medicines, and we should repeat medicines accordingly, according to the duration of the action of each remedy. Such a duration is appended in by Dr. Gibson Miller, so that the relationship of remedies and duration of remedies, all these are appended in many textbooks. With a constitutional drug in high potency, acute complementary drugs may have to be given. So along with the main remedy, acute complementary remedies may have to be taken because for each complaint, the patient need not consult a doctor. Complementary drugs can be given so that they can use them according to need. Functional and drainage remedies in lower potencies also may be of help according to the case. It is functional and drainage remedies in some cases. Mother tinctures, when indicated, may be given only in 4 to 8 drop doses to prevent toxic cumulative effects of the alkaloids over a long term. Biochemic tissue remedies, when indicated by modalities, can complement a constitutional prescription, but ensure that no inimical biochemic is prescribed as a routine, as these remedies being taken every day can gradually nullify the effect of the potency. Placebo will be most appropriate in these cases. That we should keep in mind. An inimical biochemic can destroy the effect of the selected high potency, which is given only once in a month or once in 3 weeks, like that. So it is better than giving an inimical biochemic for tissue salt, give placebo only. Needless to say, a model physician will give value to the doctor-patient relationship. Follow-up with the absolutely necessary investigations will be advised at reasonable intervals only. For example, 1 to 2 months interval in chronic cases. Due consideration will be given to the cost factor and the risk to the ultrasound scan may show the changes. A CT scan involves exposure to 400 times ionizing radiation when compared to a chest X-ray. So in conclusion, see our treatment, see what I was speaking was on the how to approach a patient, how the case recording, the diagnosis of the individual, and deal with the repetition and those things. And more thing in conclusion is what I have to say is treatment should be evidence-based medicine also. So the recording of these investigations with the proper recording and statistical analysis. Never be ashamed of collecting useful clinical tips, even from our junior doctors. Example, I remember, see, triticum, when a junior doctor was with me, and he was suggesting triticum. See, in cases of prostatic enlargement, when most of us were considering subulcer and all, triticum is a most useful remedy as along with the standard constitutional remedy. This can be of use. Then we have found that in our routine in clinical practice, say in a case of bronchiectasis patient with a very horribly offensive sputum, which we could not go to the bedside because of the offensiveness, that was covered by phalantrium. That was the discussion phalantrium 30, and within 3 or 4 days, available even for AFB testing after 4 or 5 days. That was the effect of phalantrium. And these drugs are clinically proven indications are given in Bodix Metromedica also. Clinically approved drugs, especially mentioned that also. So in short, honest homeopathic practice, considering all these rules of diagnosis, prescription, general management, by organ of medicine, and in laboratory, useful, honest homeopathic practice can uplift homeopathy, leading to global acceptance. That is what we should do for global acceptance and for international acceptance. This type of practice can help in, especially with the documentation also, so that others can understand, and statistical analysis also is possible. So with a little devotion, this can be done. And as Dr. Stuart Close has said, we should be first focusing on this our ideals, so that naturally moderate the wealth and all will naturally come in search of the such physician. That's a good tip given by Dr. Stuart Close in practice. So I hope so I should be giving time for others also, and for after that we'll have a discussion also. Dr. Shaji, I will be concluding now so that we can go on.
Thank you, sir. You will be given 2 minutes at the end of the program to make further conclusions after the general discussion. Next, I am going to invite another doctor, Dr. Ihab Hassan Maki from Sudan, who is working in United Arab Emirates as a homeopathic physician and medical director of Health Medical Center in Abu Dhabi, UAE. He has published more than 100 articles in Sahrat al-Khalij, a top magazine in the Arab world today. He is regularly conducting CME in homeopathy all over UAE, author of scientific materia medica book, The Science and the Homeopathic Medicine. Dr. Maki, the next 10 minutes are yours. Yeah, you are even earlier came to our platform during our 100-day celebration. We welcome you again. Yeah, please proceed, doctor.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and congrats. This is forum considered among the most forums, successful forum for almost 6 months, and it was great achievement in education, increased awareness, and gathering homeopaths globally. Thank you very much for having me today. The question: what have to be done? What we have to do in order to make homeopathy number one? But the most important question, we need to understand the reality, the truth. We need to understand what is the position of homeopathy globally and how we far from number one. Are we number two? Are we number five? Are we number six? Homeopathic medicines is gaining a lot of popularity globally. That's what they say. Homeopathic medicines is the second choice of treatment globally. Is it true? And what is the meaning of globally? Does homeopathy cover 249 countries? Homeopathy medicine gaining a lot of popularity on specific countries. Out of 249 on a specific country is gaining more popularity. That include India, that include Pakistan, that includes Sri Lanka. What's about China? What's about Korea? What's about Philippines? What's about Japan? What is about Arab countries? There is 25 Arab countries, and out of 25 Arab countries, only 4 to 6 recognize homeopathy. What about Africa? Very few countries practice homeopathy medicine. What is about South America? There is many countries, but it's not gaining popularity as same as in India. What is about Canada? What is about US? Majority of states still now is not recognized homeopathy medicine. Even UK still now is not regulated homeopathy by law. That means we are too far from number one. So homeopathy medicine, yes, is gaining a lot of popularity, but on a specific country, and the topmost is India. India considers the topmost country as far as the homeopathy medicines. Today, India is the only country where their government allow homeopathy to treat the most pandemic disease, COVID-19. That means the level of homeopathy medicine alone globally is India. Homeopathy is born in Germany and the homeland in Germany, but India is the one that developed homeopathy. India is the one that progressed homeopathy. And we should be grateful for John Martin, who transferred this knowledge, transferred this science from Germany to India. When I say India, I include Pakistan, because that is have done before separations. So for us and the rest of the country, if we want to make homeopathy, number one, it doesn't matter the number, it could be 1 or it could be 10, but to improve the quality, the first steps we have to learn from Indians' experience, why India reached a powerful level as far as the homeopathy. And one of the most important causes is education. The education or the system of education, that education of homeopathy in India is different than education in the West countries. In the West, the education of homeopathy, it is short course. It is 6 months, it's 1 year or 2 years without medical science, without medical knowledge. And therefore, the practitioner, when he starts to practice, he doesn't have the knowledge of the medicine, he doesn't have the knowledge of disease, he doesn't have the knowledge of investigation, and that damages the name of homeopathy on those countries. And that is why the rule and regulation on those countries, they are permit the homeopath is not allowed to diagnose. The homeopath is not allowed even to give the name of the disease, is not allowed even to investigate, which is really insulting for those who are qualified, they're practicing over there. So the first step, we have to learn from the education of the protocol of education of India. It should be for those countries in the West country who are interested in homeopathy, they have to develop the education as same as in India. And that is the only way to make homeopathy medicines better, because you will never expect in those countries with those education, homeopathy to be number one. It is impossible. Now, so what is the difference between educations in India and education in the West? In India, it is 5 years course, as we know. The education divided into 2 parts, the medical part and homeopathy part. The medical part, in order to be called medical doctors, you have to study 18 months anatomy, 18 months physiology, 18 months surgery, 18 months obstetric, 18 months medicine, include pediatric, include ENT, ophthalmology, pathology. And here you called medical doctors. Many homeopaths, they have misconceptions. They think this is allopathy science. They think this is conventional science. This is nothing to do with allopathy. This is medical science for homeopaths. It is for you. It is nothing to do with allopathy. So the students in India, he graduated with the bachelor degree of surgery and medical science, and apart from homeopathic medicine, and that it made India and the quality of homeopathy in India much better than the rest of the countries. We spoke about the positive points. Let us talk about the negative points. Now, for us, the leading country is India. So increase the quality of education, increase the quality of research, definitely affect the rest of the countries. The most problem that pull homeopathy down, because in order to make homeopathy number one, we have to find out the point that make homeopathy down, that affect the homeopathy to grow. Number one, conflict. There is large conflict, even in India. This conflict, it is not between homeopaths and allopathics. It is not between homeopaths and pharmaceutical company. It is not between homeopaths and the government. It is between homeopaths. When a student pass out, the fresh graduated student, when he pass out, he finds difficult to whom to follow. There is 100 types of groups. He have to follow group A or group B. And if he start following group A against B and C, group C against D and E, this diversity bring homeopathy down. It pulls the homeopathy down. And eventually the student get confusion. And because of this confusion, either he go and practice allopathy, or he will continue from group 1 and 2, and then he lose the interest and his confidence goes down. So how to sort out these problems? Since India is a leading country for homeopathy, and the quality of homeopathy depends on the quality of educations. What I think during college time, they have to add clinical materia medica. They have to teach the students as same as in conventional medicine. Clinical materia medica, it gives the protocol for the student to follow. And the student has to be told over and over and over during college time, even during internship time. So when he graduated, he knows how to follow, and he has the confidence. It's not like lost. He has the knowledge, but he doesn't know how to apply. So the most important, what I think, in order to improve the quality of homeopaths and improve the quality of education, they should add the clinical materia medica. The student should know what to follow and how to treat from the college time. And because this diversity between homeopaths, it pulls homeopathy down. Apart from that, in the college time, also is very important to connect the pathophysiological to treatment. Now, majority of homeopaths, when they pass out and start practicing on the basis of homeopathy, treat patient, not disease. So what happens? When the patient presents before you, you are always busy to diagnose the remedy. She might be natramone, she might be sebia, because in homeopathy, we treat the patient, not disease. And we ignore the pathophysiological. We ignore the medical part. We think this is allopathy. This is not allopathy. This is your science. And that is very important to know. A lady with polycystic ovarian syndrome, as example, she presents before you with the facial acne, with increased hair growth. And you will focus on whether she's sebia or natramone, and you'll find therapeutic for hirsutism, you'll find therapeutic for facial. But if you understand the pathophysiological of this disease, it could be simple. You will know that there's many causes. It could be insulin resistance. Insulin resistance increase the insulin. Insulin increase the male hormone. Male hormone behind the entire scenario. If you treat the insulin resistance, it could be just life change style. It could be just exercise. It could be just stop carbohydrate diets. And that is the reasons you may have observed when the MPS doctors get post-graduated in homeopathy, you will find him is more successful than homeopaths because the knowledge of pathophysiological always connected to homeopathy. It has to be done in order to make homeopathy number one. Number, it doesn't matter, but increase the quality of homeopathy. There is a lot of things, but time is not allowed. If I got the opportunity, I will continue later on. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Maki. That was very impressive, nice presentation. You bring out all the realities of homeopathy in the world and particularly in India, because India leads the world of homeopathy today. So it is nice to hear from you a critical analysis of what is going on. It will definitely help homeopathy in the world as it takes leadership from India today. We will come to that point again for in our group discussion session. Now we have one more panelist, also of Indian origin, practicing in UAE, Dr. Santoshkumar SV, who is representing United Arab Emirates of Indian origin. He is globally acclaimed as a homeopath and research scholar and has been practicing in UAE for more than 20 years. He is an avid orator and very frequently speaks on international platforms. He has also published books that are well received by the homeopathic fraternity. Over to you, Dr. Santosh. The next 10 minutes are yours. Please unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, you are audible.
Am I audible? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Dr. Shajikutti. Good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. First of all, I would like to convey my sincere gratitude to the office bearers of Ifph for giving me an opportunity to be here on this evening. It's my honor to be here in this discussion along with my guru, respected guru, Dr. Sanderskumar, who inspired me a lot during my college days, during my undergraduate studies, both in professional and in academic way. I am fortunate to be present here as a practitioner from UAE because the root of this esteemed organization is also there in UAE, where this system of medicine has get enough recognition and acceptance. There are several reasons behind that one. The first one is the selection criteria for the homeopaths to practice in UAE. The Ministry of Health has been conducting an examination which comprises of a written examination and oral examination. In the written examination, we have to go through all the basic sciences which Dr. Ifph has already explained. Once this process has completed, then that person has to go through the Viva examination, which comprises of the testing the homeopathic knowledge. So the meaning of this one is the health authority is making sure that person who is going to practice in this country has enough knowledge, both in science and in our system of medicine. And the good thing is 99% or 95% of the persons who are practicing in UAE are Indians, or they studied, especially Dr. Ifph, the speaker, Dr. Ifph, even though he is from Sudan, he studied from India. So the base of the knowledge is extremely good. He told about the Western countries' education. Most of the homeopathic doctors who are coming from the Western countries, they are going with not the 5-year course like in this India. Just short-term courses are there in that countries. And the second reason for the uplift of this homeopathic system of medicine in this country is after getting the license to practice in UAE, we are not supposed to start a clinic individually. We have to practice in a medical center where all the specialities are there, including gynecology, this pediatrics, general medicine, all specialties doctors will be there. So we all has to join hands together. And there is a protocol which has to follow by all the doctors, including homeopathic doctors. Even the files which we are writing should have all the details. We have to fill all the details, and these details can be seen by all the doctors in that medical center. But now for the last 1 year, this has been uploaded to the health authority also. So it's easy for them to understand the level of homeopathic doctors there. We are working together as a family. Even the homeopaths, all of us are working together as a family. We don't have any ego. Then by seeing the case files and other things, they started showing some interest in the system of medicine. And we are internally referring patients also. The internal reference is very important because whenever a patient comes to us, and if we are referring that patient for another consultation with a specialist, they will go there and they will again come back to us for treatment. After again, they will go back to that particular doctor. After seeing the results of several patients, the trust towards our system of medicine, towards among the conventional medicine doctors builds up. They start referring patients to us, which elevates our system of medicine in this region. Recently, UAE is providing golden visa. Everybody knows that one. Very few persons will get this golden visa to highly and most wanted professionals, especially in the field of medicine, In that one, even homeopathic doctors are also included. So they consider our doctors as a highly specialized doctors. So I'm so thankful to the UAE authorities for considering our system of medicine as a topmost specialist. And considering our discussion, dear friends, if you would like to make the system of medicine stronger in our region, we have to work hard. Work hard in the sense we have to clear our egos, everything. We have to join hands with all the doctors. I'm not telling about the homeopathy itself. We are not supposed to blame other system of medicine's doctors. They are also, there are several doctors who are very much interested in homeopathic system of medicine, so that we could able to achieve the goal which we set forward. We will work hard with that one. And with these words, I would like to come out from this discussion. And I hope this panel discussion will be after my discussion. Now, Doctor, it's over to Dr. Shaji.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Santosh Kumar. Now it is an open forum discussion. Those who wish to participate can go to the participant list and there is a raise hand option. Click the raise hand option so that I can call you one by one based on the order of raising hands, so that you can make your comment or ask your questions to our panelists. So those who wish to ask questions, please raise your hands. Meanwhile, I wish to make one comment regarding the diversity and the non-linearity of the science behind holistic system of medicine. In conventional medicine or allopathic system of medicine, the science they base in the research studies mainly based on material science-based linear science, where 1 + 1 is 2. Whereas in other than allopathic system of medicine, all other traditional and most of the traditional and alternative systems of medicines are holistic systems of medicine, where not the linear science, but the non-linear scientific basis is the scientific basis. Because when two persons join together to do something, based on their interrelationship and the ability to join together, the result of their union can be unimaginably heightened, or it can be highly destructive based on their incompatibility also. So this applies to every holistic approach system. So homeopathic system of medicine is not only a patient-specific system, it is also a doctor-specific system. So unlike allopathic system of medicine, there can be diversities possible, and we need to accept that diversity, and we need to find naturality and science in that diversity is my humble opinion. And in coming era, and this diversity need to become a normalcy, as a material science guided allopathic system of medicine need to give way to the holistic science based traditional and alternative systems of medicine, which are more scientifically competent to deal in understanding health, in understanding disease development and treating diseases. So that is my humble opinion. Now I call upon those who raise hand. I call upon Dr. Hubert. Please unmute yourself and make your comment or ask your questions.
Today is a very good day because I'm seeing our dear Savir sir after 25 years. This is a good, it is a good platform. All coming together and sharing their views and sharing their love to each other. But what I want to say that sir told so many things. It was all of them are told many things, which is very. I am very much grateful to all of you. What I want to say that the patient-doctor-patient relationship. A patient we know that we have so many principles and a patient is expecting something from us. That we should be satisfied of. That is the main reason. A patient is, if he is not satisfied with our principles or anything, if our treatment, anything, it is not, it is useless. If he is satisfied, then we will be okay. So a doctor maybe think that after 10 days it may reduce, that we can reduce the disease. It is not, will not satisfy the patient. If the patient satisfies that, if always he thinks that as early as possible he has to be cured from all his sorrows and his difficulties. If we are also, a doctor also should be satisfied, because we should think that at least what to do for the patient. If we are satisfied with the treatment of that patient, that is also very necessary. What time we can, how easily or how rapidly we can cure that case. That is another reason. Some doctors are satisfied with 10 days. After 10 days, the patient is okay. I am satisfied. But some doctors are thinking that as early as possible today, this second, if he will be cured, then it will be happier for the doctor. So he is taking so many other reasons. Other Dr. Ifph said that doctors, the different groups are there. Why there are different groups? Because this is also individualization. After studying the things, after our medical degrees, we are also interpreting ourselves. We have our own individuality of interpreting ourselves, the disease, the treatment pattern and everything. That is why there are so many divisions. But we have to, all should be, I think that all should be come under is it possible? I don't know whether it is possible or not. Thank you very much. That is what I want to say.
Thank you, Dr. Hubert. Next is Dr. Lokmani Gupta. Doctor, please come in. Please unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir,
Proceed, doctor.
timely good wishes to all. A very good discussion and sessions are going on under your leadership of Ifph International. The things coming up are the lack of record keeping, lack of public communication, lack of confidence in the doctors, and lack of interactions between patient and doctor. Sir, today we listen 3 speakers, learned speakers, and few questions I am having in my mind. As per Dr. K.K. Agarwal ji, he used to say that mother tinctures are not homeopathic. Is it true? The mother tinctures are prepared same as the Ayurvedic kadas. So is it true that mother tinctures are not homeopathic? The required dose of the mother tincture is enough to use in 5 to 8 drops or 5 drops, as our previous speaker said, while the general tendency is to dispense at least 20 drops of mother tincture 3 times a day. Secondly, sir, very good and confidential directions given by Dr. Ahab sir to us, that we have to decide where we are. We are trying, every doctor is trying, every homeopath is trying to bring the homeopathy at number 1, but we should decide where we are. It is our self-confidence where we are. My question to Ahab sir is that there are short courses. So, as per my knowledge, they are the condensed courses done by allopathic doctors, or they are the courses for the freshers. If the courses, the short-term courses are for allopathic doctors, it may be enough sufficient for them, as they know anatomy, physiology very well. Our master Hahnemann himself was an allopathic MD doctor. And the provings he did so well was, the main cause was that he was very well aware with the systems, the physiology of the body. Second thing, sir, where we are lacking is we should be very confident and happy that a homeopathic doctor have to perform himself on 3 ways. We should know the allopathic part, said, the aforesaid allopathic part, not allopathic part. System of body is not for allopathy only. The structure of the body is not for allopathy only. The functioning body is not for allopathic doctors only. It is said to be allopathic courses. This is the course of body. This is the course of body language. Every person dealing in the system of treatment should know the body system very well. Yesterday only, we listened Honorable Mohanji. So a homeopathic doctor should know the plane, the vital plane also. We have to do 3 ways. We must learn and have a command on the body language also. We must have good relations with the patients. We must know the various regional and local languages to relate what patient is saying and what our materia medica is saying. We have to interpret these all, and by knowing the knowledge of body systems, body languages, we can get the symptoms in a better way than a person just doing homeopathy without knowing these symptoms. Then, to put it on number 1, we have to represent ourselves, and if the documents only say we must prepare our report. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Lokmani from Rajasthan. Now I invite a homeopathy lover who is our regular participant since the beginning, Mr. Parit Bawakan. Parit Bawakan, sir, please.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I am very happy to point out that all the panelists have made very appreciable presentation on the topic. They have made important suggestions which may help homeopathy to travel to the frontline position. But I would like to point out one important aspect, that is, research should be given priority so that the treatment system can be strengthened. That's what I think so. The Dr. Shaji Kodiyat has pointed out that homeopathy is based on nonlinear science. So the regular routine research methodology may not be applicable to homeopathy. So I would like to hear from any of them that what is the methodology that we can fruitfully or productively adopt it for the research under homeopathy. That's all what I want to know now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do you wish to ask the question, direct the question to any particular panelist or to everybody?
Well, everybody.
Okay.
Including yourself.
Okay. Actually, in my opinion, it is a need to develop a new methodology, a holistic methodology of research methodology, yet that is yet to develop, because today the world is led by the conventional allopathic system of medicine and the methodology they created to suit their clinical researches and development of medicines. But that is not exactly suitable to the holistic systems of medicine. So we are yet to develop a research methodology that incorporates the entire components that constitute a living phenomena, including the dynamic and the physical components. So a new methodology needs to be developed. And that is my opinion. It is yet to develop. I am leaving the rest of the comments to the panelists. Savish sir.
Joseph is the ahead. Joseph is the.
Yeah. I will invite you. Savish sir.
Yes, so regarding research methodology, so I have already mentioned that about the evidence-based medicine. No? So all the treatment should be properly recorded, so that with the treatment records before and after treatment, giving us a full account of the evidence-based medicine, and that will help in research methodology, in developing research methodology. In India also, say the Central Council of Homeopathy, they are all giving funding the various research projects, and anyone can apply. And even from institutions, it is possible. So that should be the research methodology is with that attempt. So with the, and in PG courses also, the students are taught about the research methodology, and they do researches also. So that is a limited research, but in the large scale, it can be done by following these methods, especially from the central government and ministry. That is
Mainly
necessary. That is necessary.
Mainly the question comes when we everybody are asked to follow the randomized double-blind control study, like the way the conventional allopathic system do. There comes the problem. Evidence-based medicine is not a problem to anybody, but this randomized double-blind study is the golden standard, is the method to be forced to follow by everybody. That there comes the problem, in my opinion.
Yes, that's true, because a double-blind control method cannot be practically applied in homeopathy, because you will have to select medicine for each, and it can be controlled with another group who is given placebo. That is the only method. Group which is given homeopathic medicine, and group which is, it cannot be double-blind control as in other, but that's not the only method of research. This can also be practiced.
Yeah. Dr. Ihab.
Thank you very much. I think as Dr. Kumar, he mentions three, and my opinion it is same as your opinion and his opinions. And the only way to include the scientific parts and make the evidence and make documented in to show the difference. I have nothing more to say.
Okay. Dr. Sanderskumar.
Yes. As a research scholar, I am doing research in Sanderskumar Homeopathic Medical College. Actually, I started my thesis 2 years before. Whenever the Sanderskumar Homeopathic Medical College started that PhD course, but till now, my thesis, just now only they have accepted, because whenever this subject is going to the screening committee, in that committee, most of the doctors are from allopathic side. I have given immunomodulatory effect of homeopathic medicines. This is the word which I put. In the first screening committee, they told you are trying to put something in the sea and finding something. It's not possible. You have to come with a single medicine. This is the protocol which we are following, and you have to. I was actually fighting with that doctors, but you see, ICMR, one scientist also was there. What he was telling, Dr. Kumar, whatever you are telling is absolutely correct. I am a big fan of homeopathic system of medicine. But ultimately, after doing this PhD, after 5 years, if you are coming for conferring this PhD degree, at that time, this won't be acceptable by the members, then it will be of no use. So you have to come up with the single medicine. Then again, I went with the single medicine. Now, my thesis has been accepted with the single medicine. What I felt is, some of our doctors has to be there in the committee. Then only we could be able to make changes in the research methodology. Until then, we have to go with their protocol. Then only we could be able to get the acceptance. So, unfortunately, at last, I have to go with their protocol itself. As a result of it, they get the acceptance. So, it will take time. That's why I'm telling we have to work hard for a long time to take the acceptance. Here in UAE, we took nearly 10 to 15 years to get the acceptance from the public and the authorities.
Okay.
So like that, research methodology has to be made by our own doctors.
I hope that Dr. Jose Isaac is there. He will
Yeah,
be
yeah.
able to help me to
Yeah.
get more
Yeah,
insight
Correct.
into that.
Yeah, I don't know
Please.
whether you have the time.
Yeah,
There is
just
a time
just
constraint, but still I will
yeah,
try.
time is over. Yes.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
finish,
the main-
doctor. Yeah.
But the main thing is, see, science depends always on the available technology.
Yes.
So if the technology has not developed up to the level of homeopathy, you cannot explain homeopathy. Many writers, many thinkers used to say that the problem was Hahnemann was ahead of the available technology. That was his mistake, or that was the problem, not a mistake. See, the main thing here is, this is applicable to all the alternative systems. Even Ayurveda, Chinese medicine, the same. They cannot explain, the available technology cannot explain this action of these systems of medicine. And so the science cannot accept it. Or science will say it is not scientific. Scientificity depends on the available technology. Then the second point is, just when I was a student, usually they say that the allegation against homeopathy was that it was a placebo. And finally, they said up to Avogadro's principle or the 12x potency, only the material content of the medicine is there. 12C, 12 potency. Now, nanotechnology came. They say that there is medicinal material until the 200 potency, and there is the mother material above 200 potency also. So when the technology develops, I think it took around 220 years or 210 years for nanotechnology to come and explain that homeopathic medicine is there up to 200 potency. So maybe it will take another 200 years to say or to prove that there are medicines in the CM potency or 50M potency. So that's one thing. So we know that this is the deficiency of the technology available, not the problem with homeopathy. Like Galileo, he said the earth is round and he was killed because at that time, the technology was not developed enough to show that it is round. At that time, everybody thought it is flat. The earth is flat. So this is the problem with Hahnemann also. Then another point here is, see, what we are doing with homeopathic medicine, the modus operandi or how it works cannot be explained by the present science, because what we are doing is we are not killing the bacteria. We are not killing the virus. We are not doing anything against the parasite. What we are doing is, in every living being, there is this inherent natural immune mechanism to get rid of the disease. So every living being has this mechanism. Even the animals, every living being has the mechanism to repair their body and cure diseases. What we are doing is we are enhancing that power of the organism. That's why we say we are stimulating the vital force, stimulating the vital force of an individual so that the cure is affected by the vital force, not by our medicine. We are stimulating that natural mechanism. So that mechanism is there everywhere in every living being. That's why many animals without any medication, they live for a long time. So this is the biggest problem. And science doesn't have, or technology doesn't have anything to measure the immunity of an individual. See, that is the problem. Now, when Corona came also, the problem is, they say general immunity, improve the general immunity. They started giving biryani. They started giving all sorts of ginger or everything. So now they are also after this general immunity. What is the general immunity? Whether there is anything to measure this general immunity? No. So as the science improves or the technology improves, I think the homeopathic principles will be explained properly. So it is the problem with the technology available, not us. So this is the way it works. So that way they have to explain it. And another thing is, see, in medical science, everything is written as per the will and pressure of the allopathic community. Yes. If they do double-blind randomized control trial, every system has to do it. Yes. See, One more thing I would like to say is, now everybody says individualized medicine is the number one, the most ideal one. Where is this individualized medicine? We were talking about the individualized medicine for the last 225 years. So individualized medicine means you cannot do a research, because in research they want standards, a general standard, or if a medicine is found out, it has to be given to so many people and found useful in the majority or something like that. But in homeopathy, every disease, every individual requires a different medicine. It cannot be standardized. These are the problems we have with the present technology and science. So when the science grow another 200 or 20 or 300 years, they will say that this is the best medicine, because there is every way it is coming up. See, you look at the agriculture field. Now the people are going for organic farming. What is this organic farming? Without using chemical, without using steroid, without using hormone. So the same thing has to come to the medical field also. Already people who have educated, already who are celebrities and educated people are following homeopathy now, mainly because of this. They know that this is the present homeopathy is the best system, but it cannot be explained completely. That's the only thing. But it survives only because there is effect, not because of the patronage of the government, media, or anybody. It survived 225 years and it is spreading. Now, finally, even WHO is saying homeopathy is practiced in 100 countries, and homeopathy is effective. Percentage of people who are using homeopathy is increasing day by day, everything. So the evidence is, effect is the evidence. We don't want the certificate of this double-blind control study or anything. See, these are all things which they are trying to put our system also in their bottle and prove it. That is the basic problem. Every science is unique, and the research and the methodology, everything should be different. Here, what is happening is they have prescribed a method, and they're according to their and everything, and every other system has to follow it. Okay, because of the time constraint, I'm not going through everything. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Jose Isaac. And it is time to wind up now. We exceeded the regular time. We have an important meeting after this session of our steering committee, since we are going for the 300th day of our continuous uninterrupted Zoom meetings. Will be celebrated for 30 hours, extended to 3 days of 10 hours each, from 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. We invite all of you to participate in our 3 days of 300-day celebration, starting on coming Sunday, 27th June. We will be inaugurating our session at 1 p.m. and it will be every day for 3 successive days. Will be programs will be there from 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. I request all of you to join our program. So we are bringing important dignitaries from ministers, member of parliaments, MLAs, important personalities in arts, literature, sports, giving their experiences and sharing their support to us. So we need your presence to boost their morale, so that their support is very important at the crucial period of time where we are surviving and we are trying to bring this medicine to the hearts and minds of the people around the world. So I will just wish to extend 1 minute each to make final conclusions to all our panelists. Savir sir, 1 minute, just one conclusive sentence.
Thank you. So I just wanted to say that homeopathy will never perish because of the element of truth in it. The truth Dr. Hahnemann invented was the principle of similia similibus current. So even in the present pandemic, so even in Central Council of Homeopathy has given arsenical 30, and we have done after a period of 1 year, there is time to make an analysis. And even though some cases have been reported as positive, what I have observed is that homeopathy, when arsenical 30 was complemented by Tuja 200, so very little cases turned positive. Even when one member of the family was affected by the disease, no others developed. That was an astounding, and we can know that it is Tuja is a complement arsenic, and we can also have, we have also family was affected, all others taking Tuja did not develop. So that shows a great property, and in this case particularly, Tuja is complement to arsenic. So that be
There is an interruption. Their voice is not audible.
What I have seen is a good observation. Also, and
You are not audible, Savisa. You are not audible.
okay.
Okay.
So
Dr.
there is
Iham,
some
please.
interruption.
Yeah,
Okay.
your internet
Then
problem.
I'll wait. I'll wait. So some more times. Let others speak. Okay.
Yeah, please, Dr. Iham.
Thank you very much. I would like to say the quality of homeopathic medicine in in the country where it's newly started, it depends on the quality of practitioner, and the quality of practitioner depends on the quality of education. And now the major problem and I think India overcome this problem, that there is no science in philosophy of homeopathic medicine. The mechanism behind the actions of homeopathic medicine is not clear. What I suggest in just 1 minute, in those countries who newly started, I think the oppositions, if you understand the nature of oppositions, there are two types. There are business and there is non-business. The business, no matter what you say, they are going to object it. And non-business, like scientific, like conventionals, they have ability to understand. But the main problem, we need to speak and we need to explain in the language that they understand, in the language that they are familiar, in the language that is they are. We normally use our own terminology. We used to say SORA, psychosis, syphilis, and this sort of terminology, it will not be understood by them. If we modify this terminology that is used 200 into modern science, if you get it, miasm now is no longer a miasm, it's genetic code. The genetic code is the miasm, and miasm is genetic code. We normally used to say drug picture. If we can modify this terminology into the genome, so this language, it make those people who are interested to understand homeopathy, they may things. But if you use our different language, it will be so difficult to digest. Thank you very much for offering me this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Iham. Dr. Sanderskumar.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Shaji. Okay, I would like to mention one thing only, because whenever the quality of education in homeopathic system of medicine also is increasing. Because whenever I started my practice, the DHMS was there, then degree comes, MD comes. So the quality of education makes a great difference in the quality of treatment and the explanation which we are giving to the patients and to the community also. Regarding research, I hope within a few years, our research methodology, everything can be controlled by ours itself, so that it will grow into higher level. And the Ifph is one of the organization which works hard for the betterment of homeopathic system of medicine. And I really thanks all the office bearers for making this forum so high in the coming years. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Savir sir, you have something?
Just can you hear now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, so what I was speaking was about the arsenic 30 being complemented by Tuja 200, and see because of and that gives wonderful results in the prevention of the disease. And during treatment also, see, we have seen many cases responding to the lines given by Dr. Kent in under respiration difficult. See, in the Kent's repertory, respiration difficult, heat with. Respiration difficult, heat with is a rubric for pneumonia and other bronchitis and other lung infections. So see the 3-mark medicines, Epismel, Calicar, and they are all giving wonderful results in the treatment of pneumonia. Not only in this COVID case, but because in COVID case, pneumonia is a life-threatening complication. So bryonia can be complemented by Epismel, or the deeper bryonia is Calicar. Calicar has all properties of bryonia, except and also difficulty in breathing. So that's why I said deeper bryonia. So Epismel, Calicar, Phosphorus, Tuberculinum, as given in that particular rubric, respiration difficult, heat with in Dr. Ken's repertory. They are all having wonderful therapeutic power in this condition. So just wanted to bring to your attention this the importance of this treatment.
Thank you, sir. Now it is time to tomorrow. We have one more day before our 300th day. Will be another set of panelists will be coming and discussing the same topic. They will be Dr. Nandini Sharma from Delhi, India, and Dr. Kamal Shah from Malaysia, and Dr. Alphonse D'Souza from UAE will be joining us for tomorrow's this panel of discussion. And now I invite Dr. Yahya, Joint Secretary of Ifph, to say a vote of thanks. Dr. Yahya. Yes.
Good evening, everybody. So on behalf of Ifph, so I make my thanks to our beloved doctors. Dr. Savisar, my professor in the college and the practice of medicine department. Then Dr. Ifph from UAE, and Dr. Santosh, who is also belongs to Trivandrum, one of my friend. So the three panelists have a very interesting discussion we had, and unfortunately we are forgetting about what about the homeopathic standards. Actually, in the world, we are the first and the foremost one in dealing with the health. Even WHO has included very recently when while defining the health, they have included the mental health very recently. I think even I think it is around 20 years back they have included the mental health. Actually, we homeopaths are studying the emotional and mental health, or along with our philosophy and the psychology. Throughout the years, we are studying the emotional and mental picture of our patients. All the syllabus have included that. But in all other systems, I think that in the modern medicine, they have not included so far the mental health in their syllabus. I don't know. That may be the reason why we homeopaths are the foremost and in the forefront. Throughout these 2 months, we are discussing why homeopathy is number 2 in the world. From my understanding, we are the first, and we are in the forefront. Actually, we have to guide the whole humanity, the whole world in the health scenario. Even in the COVID era, the only system who got to treat the COVID, actually we, the homeopaths, only got the privilege to treat the COVID. Even our apex body have given that. So I am very happy to say our Supreme Court have given the homeopaths to treat COVID. So I am thankful to the all panelists today for the healthy discussion, and the participants here who have attended this session. Thank you once again on behalf of Ifph. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. With this, we wind up today's session. So, thank you once again all on behalf of Ifph and on my personal behalf. Thank you. See you again tomorrow, same time. Goodbye. Good night.
Bye.